Hello and welcome to another Just Watched. Surprisingly, Billy's not with me today, so I had to get a replacement.
I'm the replacement. I am pseudo Billy. Actually, I'm Curtis.
Yeah, I couldn't get Billy Bob working in time.
Yeah. Some adjustments in progress here.
Well, last one choked me out, and you had to come in and save me.
Yeah. Dangerous experiments.
Yeah. But at least I didn't have to reset the day like this movie does.
Hey folks, if you like video games, you're gonna like this movie we're gonna talk about.
Yes, this is a very much a video game inspired movie. I don't care what anyone says.
It totally is.
Even though it's based off a novel from 2004.
A Japanese light novel from 2004 called All You Need Is Kill.
Which is the best name for a novel ever.
I guess we should probably say the actual name of the movie is Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Starring Tom Cruise.
If you haven't read the title of this video yet.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt in leading roles, and both do a stellar job.
Very well done.
Yeah, this is super awesome. So, do you want to give a rundown of the premise?
Okay, I usually get Billy to do these.
Okay, sure.
So as the guest, give us a 3-sentence synopsis of what this movie is.
Alright, so Wimp-ass soldier is reassigned after he attempts to desert and finds himself in over his head. Then he begins to fight and gets his ass horribly handed to him. He dies, but instead of dying, he then wakes up, and things start to repeat again and again and again. And we've got Majora's Mask on our hands, or Groundhog Day, any number of things. But this is an awesome execution.
Yes, it is. So a few movies are coming out like this, where it's Groundhog's Day, but with a different premise.
Yeah. Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day is another one.
Another good one. Yep.
We might do on this channel at some point, but we'll
yeah,
see.
definitely. But yeah, this is one of those, but one of the best I've seen. I would say this is really good movie.
So the first couple scenes, you're gonna just laugh at how dumb he dies a lot of the time.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess to expound further, this guy is an officer. One of his first lines, something along the lines of he hates the sight of even a paper cut. He's the biggest wussy military man you will ever see.
But he became a major somehow, so that always boggles me.
Yeah, you know, favors and all that shit. I guess I don't know who knows, but he is where he is. However he got there, but totally sucks ass in combat. Doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
And he's basically forced into combat.
Yep.
They gave him the options, like, you can just be on the front lines, record a few things,
Yep.
make a good publicity stunt for the public so our war looks good.
Yep.
And of course he turns it down because he doesn't like combat. It's like, well, you can leave then, but we're going to label you a deserter and force you to do combat anyway.
Yeah.
Surprise.
And we're not talking ordinary, average, everyday type of combat. We're up against an alien menace.
Yes.
They are called mimics, and they are very deadly. They definitely remind me of the Aim for Metroid Prime 2.
They do.
If you ever played that, in terms of visual similarity and even some of their hierarchy and structure.
They have betas, alphas, and the omega.
Yeah, which is temporary.
Yeah.
Yes. If you play Echoes, then you can probably kind of visualize these things in your head.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, there's another thing that they were reminding me of.
Yeah.
What was it in Reboot, the Web Snatcher or something?
Yeah.
It was like the thing that took over viruses.
Yeah, it's been a minute, I can forget
Yeah.
the name.
Something like that, but like, just a massive tentacles.
Yeah. Hive mind with the writhing massive tentacles. There are 3 types that we saw. There's the ones, the rank and file, what are they called, betas?
Yeah.
The rank and file betas, which are still a major threat to anybody.
I think they're just called mimics, but like I would call them a beta.
Yeah. Then there are the alphas, which are kind of one of the key players in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because they are the key to this time rewind gimmick. Basically, if you get their blood on you, you get their power, conquering race thrives on its ability to conquer worlds by basically resetting the clock until they win.
Yeah, basically they get an infinite amount of do-overs.
Yeah.
Until they get it right.
Yeah, it's just
a little unfair.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a built-in ability that they possess, and only by spilling the blood of an alpha and getting it on you can you acquire said power for yourself. Humans can, I don't know for other reasons. And this is how our dear Tom Cruise acquires the power to repeat the day over and over.
Yeah. And the only way to really repeat the day over is if you die.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to get a blood transfusion, as it turns out, because if you are saved from near death, you're going to lose your power, and that's not good.
Yeah.
And this has happened once before, as far as we know, to Emily Blunt's character, who is basically a super badass, and she, for a time, had the same power as Tom did, but lost it due to aforementioned blood transfusion reasons.
Yeah. And that's basically our setup.
Yep.
So we keep repeating the day until we find out where this Omega is, and then we gotta hunt it down and destroy it.
Yeah, in the way that you find out where the Omega is as it, I guess the more you repeat, the more likely you are, and I think the more likely it is to start to track you down, because it wants the power that you took back for itself.
Yeah.
And so you'll begin to see visions of where it went.
Yeah. You kind of get a link to it, and that's a good and bad thing.
Yep. Yeah. Especially given the fact that the Omega can apparently manipulate you those visions to fool you into going to a place where it actually is not.
Never has been.
So yeah, it's a tricky mission to say the least. And, it definitely starts to feel like a video game where you see NPC dialogue repeat over and over. With different
cannot
choices.
skip cutscene fast enough.
Yeah, no checkpoints set. Like,
No.
yeah, back to the beginning every time you die. Repeat the whole song and dance. They do a really good job of cutting together like the skips. Like they keep the funny bits for each repeat. And
Yeah.
The critical story bits for each repeat.
Yes. So the viewer doesn't have to suffer what Tom is suffering.
Tom dies many times. Probably, like, we see, I don't know, something intense, probably into the death, but it's implied that he's died hundreds, if not, I don't know, thousands of times.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
the weird way they do it, and it's kind of neat, but also a little jarring, is that
Yeah.
they'll play out a scene, and he's like, "Yeah, I've already done this," even
Yeah.
though this is the first time the audience has seen him play out the scene.
Yeah, the further you get in the movie, the more you tend to see a few scenes like that, where it's like, you're not seeing a scene for the first time, but for, who knows, like, the umpteenth time.
Yeah.
It's used quite well. Like it sets up a scene where he's tried everything to save Emily Blunt, but has determined that that's the way to do
Yeah,
so.
this is a bad end.
Yeah, this is a dead end path.
Yeah.
In a choose your own adventure book, this is a dead end path. So they end up coming up with a completely different way to solve the situation, especially after they find out. I think Tom Cruise goes in on the solo mission to
Yeah.
try to salvage the bad end. It's only until it's just him, but then finds out that was the trap.
Yep.
So the vision he was seeing was the fake all along. So then they have to take a completely different path.
And what they do find out is that they're also working with a scientist who has built a device that taps in and on an alpha's wave frequency to locate the Omega.
Yep.
But this idea was scrapped because he looked like a lunatic.
Yeah. So the general that originally stripped rank away from Tom Cruise. Sorry, Bill Cage is the character name.
Yeah.
And threw him to the wolves. It's the same general that had this device currently locked in the safe.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise is gonna go and convince him to give it back.
And kind of does, but then gets backstabbed again anyway.
Yeah. Pretty
This general sucks.
Yeah, he's not the greatest. Yeah, he's not doing too many a lot of things. But the ultimate result of that is, unfortunately, Tom enters a scenario where he does not die, but merely bleeds out slowly and is saved. So here
This is your last attempt.
Yeah, this is the run.
Yeah.
Gotta make it count.
And you just know where the end boss is now.
Yeah, you know where the end boss is, but no more retries, so you gotta make it count.
Now, there are a few flaws, logic flaws in this. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if someone came up to me and started predicting everything I was about to say, everything I was about to do, and events that was coming up, I might start to believe them that they're from either the future or they have manipulated time in some way.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm a believer of that.
Well, I think it's illustrated pretty well in the movie that there are some characters who are more willing to believe that than others.
Yeah.
He was able to get his J Squad crew without too much difficulty, but of course, I guess the more he learns about somebody, the more he later believes that he's not just a loony, but also maybe a prophetic loony.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's just because a lot of that hinged on the fact that like a lot of people didn't believe him,
Yes.
even though he had such evidence against the contrary.
Yeah. A general just doofus.
Yeah.
At least he got the device from him, but still. Yeah.
Now the other thing about that is when you get the device and he sticks it with it and he finds out where the Omega is, I would have killed myself. Because then I would have got a fresh redo, and I would have known where the end boss is.
Yeah. They tried to continue on and ended up taking the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah. We were hoping he'd set up a shortcut point, but it turned out that
Set up the one way.
Yeah, lost his lives. I really like how Emily Blunt's character was also like knowledgeable about the whole thing, so it didn't take much convincing on any given day to get her on his side, and because of that, she was able to turn him from a weak little weenie into basically Doom guy.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Because they just trained every day until he dies.
Yes. It's one of the funniest parts of the whole movie is just when he's in his little combat training scenario and he gets some debilitating injury and she just comes up and shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
So they can start over.
Yeah. Now I can still feel my toes. It's good.
Yeah, a good montage of the show there. Her just shooting him in the head.
Just a list of dumb ways to die.
Yep.
Like he tries to roll underneath the car to get away from his squad leader.
Yep.
And you just hear that. Ah!
Yep. Splat. Yep. Failed the quick time event and got splattered by a truck. Yeah, so just a good mix of like badass deaths and hilarious stupid deaths that you might expect.
Yes.
From such a highly fraught and unpredictable scenarios trying to survive against an onslaught of aliens. You know, even though you've got a lot of knowledge along the way, sometimes things are just gonna go your way.
No. Lady Luck has a say in most movies.
Yeah. It's just such a fun watch. This is honestly up there for me in terms of sci-fi movies in general.
Yes.
It just really it finds a good premise and video gamifies the hell out of it while also making it feel meaningful and fun.
Yeah. No, and I'm not a sci-fi guy in any stretch of the term, but I would watch this again and again.
Yeah. Yeah. I love sci-fi and I will watch this again and again. I know it. Until I die.
Yep. And then you get to repeat.
Yep. Until I kill the alien end boss. And then everything is good.
Yeah. So, we do have to talk about the ending, so here's the spoiler.
Yep.
Tune out now if you don't want to know how this ends.
Yep.
But we do our last hurrah. Everyone dies.
Everybody dies.
Everyone.
Yeah.
But Tom gets to the alien Omega, releases a few death charges almost. They weren't grenades. Because that wouldn't have worked.
Hey, hold those pins, man.
Yeah. That is a badass moment. He like drops the grenades.
Yeah.
The Alpha's just barreling in on he's underwater.
Yeah.
And he just opens up his hands to show that he released 4 pins.
The alien has skewered him, but then he just turns around and is like, got these pins, sucker.
Yeah.
And then kaboom.
And then a weird series of events where he wakes up before he's even deported into the army.
Yeah, that was a bit unclear to me. I was almost thinking, like, is this the day of or the day after? It wasn't quite clear.
It was the day of because they were still doing the training.
Of course, right. The training was still happening. Yeah. So it basically kicked him back to the start of the day, but everything was.
But as if the Omega died.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is the Omega blows up, and its blood then seeps into good old Tom, who said now 2 different doses of alien blood. And it turns out this is a good dose because it basically solidifies the end result. And not only that, but brings everybody back along with it by resetting the day for good.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's a surprisingly happy ending. I was not expecting it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a happy ending from this.
No, I this was clearly a suicide mission towards the end, and you knew that, no one was going to survive this particular fight. But it turns out with a bit of Deus Ex alien blood, things turned out quite well. Which, hey, I have no problem with that. I know it can sometimes seem cheesy and out of nowhere.
For this movie, it's suited because this movie is kind of just cheesy anyway.
And it's also based around resetting, right? So having a nice happy reset at the end is a cool send-off.
See, my predictions were either this is going to be like everyone dies, it's a sad ending.
Yep.
Or it's going to be a futile, the thing resets.
Yep.
And he realizes that no matter what we do, it's just going to repeat this.
Yep.
Which is also a bad ending.
Yep. Oh yeah, the worst.
Yeah. So, final thoughts, Curtis.
Yeah, like I love Emily Blunt as an actress. Tom Cruise, I didn't have any particular affinity for, but in this movie I thought he kicked ass.
Tom Cruise is a very hit or miss with me.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff and some, whatever. But in this particular movie, he did a great job. They were a great pair, both lead actors, actresses. This is a great sci-fi story that I would recommend to anybody who likes, Groundhog Day, sci-fi in general, or just
video games.
Video games.
If you love video games, this is a video game movie.
Yeah. Just every time Tom dies, just imagine the Dark Souls he died next popping up.
Or any kind of game over. Or you could even cue like a floating Tom head screen with the number drop inside. Or number go up, like how many times since he died.
Yep. Yeah, this was great. I 100% recommend it to anybody.
And with that, though, that'll be the episode. So until next time, I'm Devin.
I'm Curtis.
Hopefully we'll have you in for some more Just Watches.
Yeah, I should pop up every now and then, I think.
And have a good one, guys.
Yeah, take it easy, folks.